1. Cleveland, February 1984. 3 weeks. When Sophia's shoulder reached the well-plowed lot behind the chemistry building at only a little past 7 in the morning, she had her choice of parking spots. As she backed her Carmen Ghia into a covered space that would offer some protection from more February snow, someone yelled, "Stop!" She jammed on the brakes and opened the door. A shaggy grad student came up to her. "You almost ran over a damn dog. Look where you're going." The student turned on his heel and walked away. Behind the car, a dog, mid-sized, lay on the frosty asphalt. A beautiful mutt with a lot of cocker spaniel in her, sick and shivering. "Oh, poor thing. What's going on?" Relieved that she hadn't hit the dog, Sophia got down on her knees and continued talking in that high, gentle voice people reserve for animals or small children. She patted the dog's head. When the animal licked her hand, Sophia didn't pull away, her attention caught by a nasty mass with blood and pus on the dog's abdomen. The dog struggled to get up, but its hind legs didn't move. Sophia poured out the remnants of her coffee and filled the cup with water from a half-filled bottle she found under her car seat. The dog lapped with effort, then lay back with a grunt, panting and looking at Sophia. "Come on, pup. Stop using those big brown eyes on me. I've got a grant to finish." This evoked a few flaps of the tail. Sophia could leave the dog for someone else to take care of, but why would anyone else be less rushed than she was? The fur around the dog's neck was matted, as if someone had removed a collar. Maybe someone unable to care for her. Did a child cry over a lost pet somewhere? Sophia remembered the funeral of her dog, Boots, too slow to avoid a car by the time she was 14. Sophia's mother, slightly sloshed, composed a poem and coerced Sophia and her brothers to each read a few lines at Boots's backyard grave. "Why me?" Sophia said as she picked the dog up in a blanket she'd pulled out of the car trunk. The dog weighed no more than a pack of groceries. She eased the dog onto the back seat of her car, blood soaked through the blanket. She'd take care of this immediate problem, and there'd still be time enough to fax a draft of her grant renewal to her friend Mac in Boston to get his comments on it before the weekend. The dog sniffed her old car smell and then fell half asleep, panting less. The dog tugged at something inside her. After Sophia's father died, Boots was the only family member whose love remained. Sophia had walked Boots, played frisbee with her, eaten ice cream with her, slept with her, dressed her up, did her homework with her, and protected her from Sophia's brother's pranks. This dog could be a problem with their white rug and furniture. Though she and Martin were away all day, they could fence the backyard and make do. As she drove, she half-turned and murmured to the dog, "It'll be all right, puppy. We'll get you to a vet and get that nasty infection cleaned up. You are the sweetest thing. Don't you worry. Hey, keep your spirits up. Heard any wonderful dog stories?" Sophia stopped at a payphone and, after several tries, found a nearby vet whose office opened at 8. Then she called Martin, still at home, and asked him to meet her. Sophia helped lift the dog onto the stainless steel table and murmured reassurances while the vet did his examination. "Sophia?" "Back here, Martin." Hauled out of bed early by Sophia's call, a disheveled Martin entered the clinic and took in the vet, Sophia, and the dog. "Found the pooch in the parking lot," Sophia said, relieved to see him. He was at times her better emotional half, 6 feet tall with devilish blue eyes, curly black hair, and an air of enough confidence to still charm her. "God," said Martin. "What's the matter with her? That thing on her belly is disgusting." "It's not good," the vet said. "A solid tumor of some sort, ignored too long. It's breaking down, infected, probably metastasized." Sophia held the dog's head in both her hands. "Come on, Sophia, be careful. You heard what he said. You could get an infection." The vet patted the dog. Martin stood in the corner of the examining room.